Hello everybody, this is Amanda and I'm back with another video for you. This one is titled Family because you know I'm so clever with my titles. This is not a product prompt video though, this was just me scrapbooking and using whatever was around and no rules, nothing like that. Anyway, the paper line that I used in here is called Trendsetter and I think the paper that I used specifically was Style Sheet and Trendsetter Stripes, and both of those are by Fancy Pants. This was actually a family reunion that was at our house. It was kind of just a sporadic one, but it was fun. We got to see and spend time with people even who live close, but that we don't spend all that much time with. So it was nice. I have, I believe, 4 photos on this layout, which is pretty good. I did trim them down so that they would all fit. And right now I'm just using my Perfect Layers tool to cut these out. Prior to starting the video, I had used a scallop punch on the navy paper and cut out a couple of strips of that. This is going to be a 2-page layout, even though I don't video the other page, so I did something similar on the page next to it as well, because I had multiple photos. I used the corner punch on this frame and then, mat of this photo, and then decided that of course it didn't look right. I needed to punch the corner around the corners of the photo as well. So you see me having this hot mess going on with trying to get that all to work out right. This left my photo slightly crumpled, but it wasn't horrible, so it was still usable. I did end up having to use some more tape though to kind of adhere it down. Once I finally get this photo glued back down to the mat, then I am gonna go ahead and put it down at the bottom, and you'll see me just kind of wave it off like I'm just done with that thing, whatever. It is what it is now. From there, then I will move on to go ahead and trimming down a piece of the Trendsetter stripes, and I'm going to place that across the bottom of the layout to ground the photo at the bottom. One of the things I noticed about this layout is I did something that I almost never do, which is I did not ink the edges of anything, and I found that it really did bother me when I look at the layout later, that it just doesn't look as finished to me. So it's probably something I'll stick with for the most part, but in the meantime I am tearing a piece. I used, I think it's Gelatos actually, that I used on a piece of, what is that paper? Tracing paper, and decided I would maybe try to use that on the layout someplace, and I ended up not liking it at all, so I play with this for a little bit, but then it does not make it on the layout at all. It's just too dark. I might try to pick up that look though, or that transparency, with the color on it, on a different type of layout. I didn't like the way it looked on this one, but I think it might work on a layout where there's more masculine or grungy, that type of thing. I think it could look cute. So I might pick that up again later. Let's see. I am moving on though to, I found this transparency thing that I've had it for quite a while. I have no idea who it's from at this point, but it was in my stash, so I decided to finally get this thing on a layout. And of course my Glossy Accents is all gummed up, so I have since bought a fine line bottle, and so in some of my videos in the future we won't be having this issue, hopefully. I'm just going ahead and gluing down the transparency, and then I will move on to putting that photo mat down. What I was thinking is I don't really know that many of what these products are or who the manufacturers of them were, and I think it's mostly because, when you start taking stuff out of the packaging, and a lot of times I'll go through and weed out, and I'll only keep the things from die cut packets that I like, and the rest of them then I'll give away to somebody. So then you kind of lose track of who kept or who manufactured them, but ultimately that's not my goal, to remember who made stuff anyway. So anyway, these flowers though I believe came in a kit or a die cut pack that was zoo themed. I think that these red and teal tags or labels might be from Avalicious, but I'm not positive. I've noticed that I have various different adhesives, and I think it's kind of random at what type of adhesive I pick to use on what day. Or maybe like I go through a period where I use, oh, I want to use this tape, or then I just a period where, oh, I'm just going to use my ATG again. I think it's kind of curious, but I don't think I necessarily have a favorite or a preference. Now I'm just kind of playing around with embellishment placement. I realize my video or my layout is slightly off camera at the top there. That's frustrating. I'm sorry about that. So I have the dog locked out of the room because he keeps chewing on a bone and he's really loud, but I can hear him pacing in the hallway. I think he's just so not used to not being in the same room as somebody else. It's really cute. Now I'm finally just going ahead and getting some of these embellishments all glued down. I ended up pulling out some old school brads to use on this layout. I was going through and cleaning out a bunch of my stuff and getting rid of, I do that quite often where I'll go through and I donate them to friends who scrapbook or that type of thing. Anyway, I found a bunch of old brads that were, oh, I want to say that, I think again it was like that company Making Memories, and they are like the type of brads that are from, like you would use even on school craft projects. Like, say you had a skeleton and you were trying to make its legs, like, what does that move or whatever. Anyway, there were those types of brads where they're just very plain, but they're the small ones. So I'm going ahead and putting some of them down, but these are larger ones at the moment. And then I'm going to sprinkle those small silver brads over the layout. And then the other thing that actually finally made an appearance on one of my layouts is sequins. I have purchased a couple packages of them and I can just never get them to really work or to where I like the way they look, but they did finally make it on a layout, so I was excited about that. The last thing that I ended up pulling out were some American Crafts thickers, and they are the Hooray ones. They're glitter red thickers, and I'm just going to put the title family at the top. I do put small amount of journaling on the labels, not much, really just the date, I believe, and then where we were at. But other than that, that's pretty much it. And that is actually going to finish up the layout. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day, okay? Bye.